Hey YouTube, welcome back to Tinker with Tools. Tonight we're going to be revisiting a topic that we've already discussed on the channel. That's going to be the 12-volt hammer drills. Now previously I pitted the Gen 2 M12 fuel hammer drill against the new Dewalt 12-volt Xtreme hammer drill. We saw the Dewalt come out victorious, but now we have the M12 Gen 3 fuel hammer drill that we want to go back and pit these two tools together and talk a little bit why competition between these two brands is better for everyone. So let's get right into that on Tinker with Tools. As I mentioned in the intro, we previously covered 12-volt hammer drills in this video here that you can go check out and get a feel for the performance that we were seeing from the last gen Milwaukee and where we are going to be going now. Now in that video, we tested mainly with 2 amp hour batteries because that is one of the batteries that does come in kits with these tools. In fact, that is the battery you get in a kit with the Dewalt. With the Milwaukee, you typically get a 2 and a 4 amp hour. But tonight we're going to be mixing it up a little bit. Mainly we are going to be testing the 5 amp hour, which is the biggest battery that Dewalt makes in their 12-volt platform, versus the 6 amp hour that is the biggest battery that they make. Now I get that these batteries are different sizes. There's not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do to appease every single battery that people want to see. I've chosen these batteries because they are in fact the biggest and hopefully give them the most power that we're going to see. Now 12-volt tools are an intriguing category to me because they are, simply put, a lot smaller than what you're going to be getting with most 18 or 20 volt tools, with the case of the bigger brothers of both of these tools. Unlike with some other brands that have a few limited tools, Dewalt's lineup is now expanded to include a lot of different tools. You could actually have a full lineup of tools with the 12 volt platform. Milwaukee, on the other hand, has more tools in their 12 volt platform than most people have in their 18 volt or in their entire tool platform. Now let's go ahead and show you some specs on each of these tools. We'll get that out of the way and then we'll start doing some testing so you can see exactly what we're going to be going up against here. The first test we're going to be doing is we are going to be driving 2 3.5 inch deck screws and we'll see which one has the lower cumulative time. So first, the Milwaukee. We do have a fully charged 6 amp hour battery. We are going to be in drill mode in speed 2. So now with the Dewalt, we do have a fully charged 5 amp hour battery. We are going to be in drill mode in speed 2. That felt a lot more competitive. The Milwaukee feels torquier. The Dewalt maybe a little bit smoother. And we're going to start next with the 4-inch specs and with the Milwaukee. And now a 4-inch with the Dewalt. So now let's just step right up to a 5-inch specs, starting with the Milwaukee first. Milwaukee did a great job. Let's see what the Dewalt can do. So the Dewalt did take that second trigger pull. We are going to move up to a power lag. So a 5-inch power lag with the M12. Plenty of torque there. Okay. So obviously the Dewalt does have the torque to do it, but when you combine the torque and the speed of the slightly more powerful M12, that's where we start to see that separation. We will start the Dewalt on the 6-inch timber lock in speed 2 and see how far it can go, and then we will drop down if it is necessary. Starting first with the Milwaukee 6-inch timber lock, 1. And now a 6-inch timber lock in speed 2 with the Dewalt. Okay. We are going to do a much larger fastener. I would not recommend driving this with this tool, but I'm curious enough to see if the Milwaukee can do it. I would guess that this is going to cut out, but we'll see. Okay, so there's our cutout. I am just going to stick in speed 1. It is a big screw. It is not something that you're going to commonly do with a 12-volt tool. But guess what? Both of them just did it as a 12-volt tool. All right, so something at this point that is good to point out is that this Dewalt does not actually have a 1/2 inch chuck. So while with the Milwaukee, we could use a 7/16 bit like this, we are going to be restricted to a 1/4 inch shank for most of this. By putting a 3/8 inch chuck, that does kind of tell you what they intend this drill for. So first we're going to do 3 consecutive holes, hopefully without stopping, with a 1/2 inch twist bit from Spider. And so we're just going to be going through in 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and do the Milwaukee. 1. So now this is a 5/8 inch speed bore bit. And now we are going to be doing a 3/4 inch Irwin speed bore, first with the Dewalt, still in speed 2. Okay, so 3/4 inch, we are getting cutouts. Let's go ahead and do it in speed 1 and register a time. Still in speed 2 with the Milwaukee 1. So it can do it in speed 2. There is kind of our first difference. Let's just step back laterally to a 3/4 inch Diablo Speed Demon. We're gonna go back up into speed 2 and see if it can do it. Okay, let's finish in speed 1. And now with the Milwaukee 3/4 inch Diablo Speed Demon in speed 2. All right, for the remainder of the test, Dewalt, we are going to keep it down in speed 1. This is now a 7/8 Diablo Speed Demon bit. And now with the Milwaukee and the 7/8 inch bit, we are going to go now with a 1 inch with the Dewalt. Still in speed 2, 1 inch Speed Demon. It was through, it breaks away, gets kind of bound up on that. We are going to call that a success there. This is now an 1.25 inch Irwin speed bore. I do not recommend doing this. I am not going to push this. It did stop. It is the majority of the way through the wood, but the little guide point did not break through the other side. We are now in speed 2 with the Milwaukee. Okay, speed 2, we're getting a failure. We are going to stop the testing right there, but let's grab a quick temp on the tools. In prior testing, I did not feel like the Dewalt got so warm that it became hot to the touch. Today we are getting a high of 101.6. One place the Dewalt does win is thermals. Right back here on the motor, 130.4. All right, so there you have all the testing that we just did on these tools. I can tell you without even having run the numbers, I know that the Milwaukee is going to run away with this one. Here are the final times. We'll go ahead and go through those, and then we'll sit down for some conclusions. One of the things I want to stress about this video is competition in the 12-volt lineup is good for everyone. Seeing competition in that 12-volt lineup will continue to push these two brands forward and will cause them to make future innovations. And we benefit from that, whether you like yellow or you like red. Now, when it comes down to these tools, even though Milwaukee walked away with the win in performance, that doesn't mean that there's not things that it still is not doing as well as Dewalt. But the temperature difference between the two when they're pushed to the limit is considerably different. In this case, roughly 25 degrees over the same test. This new M12 drill is certainly in the running right now for my favorite tool release of the year. Now, that Dewalt, I'm sure we're going to see some performance gains on that 5 amp hour battery, and that is certainly a good battery that's on there. This is not a big tool like that. It still is easy to handle. If I'm talking about wins within the different comparisons that we did that the Milwaukee or the Dewalt has, the trigger on the Dewalt is more precise. The clutch may not be, but the trigger itself does give you a better control and feel, and you can kind of work it better and be more precise in what you're doing. The Milwaukee is vastly improved, in my opinion, over the Gen 2, but it is still not as refined as the Dewalt. Next, the Dewalt's grip is just significantly better. It is more comfortable. You may have a hand that fits the M12 very well, but I still think that other than just a really big hand that may not quite fit on the grip, height-wise, the Dewalt is just a superior ergonomic grip in terms of that. So when it comes down to it, whether you choose the yellow with Dewalt's 12-volt Xtreme or you go M12 with the fuel, I think you're going to be well served with a good brand. M12 is further along, the development is further, and you're going to have more tools options to you, and even going to be getting some tools that other companies like Dewalt are putting on their 20-volt platform. You're going to be getting those down in the 12-volt. All right, so thanks for watching this video. If you like what you saw tonight, go ahead and hit that like button. If you didn't, the dislike option works as well. Now, if you do have any questions or comments about the video, go ahead and leave them down below. I try and respond to as many as possible. And if you have a suggestion for how you want to see these tools tested, go ahead and leave it down below and be happy to try and work that into future shorts content. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to check the bell icon so you can get notified when I release a new video. I really do appreciate you watching the video. Thanks for your participation, and I'll catch you next time on Tinker with Tools.